Jesse. Good morning, by the way. Is that the only job that you get inaugurated for? Do you get inaugurated for any other position? Any elected office. So even like a mayor or something? Hello, Jelly. the stream back, Cyber, to watch the inauguration instead. But I realized I can just watch the inauguration after I finish the stream. I'll like make breakfast and watch the rest of it. Hi, Jesse. Wow, Jesse, good ear on you. Jesse King, I should say, since there's two Jessies. Not too many people recognize that song. And since it's so short, I usually just kind of stuff it in the middle of other songs. Thank you, LD, for coming all the way over here. about 30 minutes of it. I would say that I caught more of Jennifer Lopez's singing than I did of Joe Biden's talking. And I caught, of course, the actual inauguration part, like where they're sworn in, but I didn't watch the entirety of the speech. I think it's still happening right now. I rested well. I mean, I guess so. Mushroom tea. I feel rested. I'd remind everybody to like the video if you're already in here. Um, kind of off topic. It says Jesse. Does anyone have any movie recommendations? I finally got to see Tenet last month, or maybe that was earlier this month. I don't know. Time has been really weird lately, but I thoroughly enjoyed that movie. Sorry, I should probably finish. You might have said something like, anybody have any movie recommendations that aren't Tenet? You say, does anybody have any movie recommendations? I've been binging them in the past couple of days while I work my way through projects, and I'm running out of things to watch. I think that Tenet is a really, really good movie. However, I think it's probably not the best like background movie, Jelly. Like something that's on in the background because it's like very, very complicated. It's like Inception levels of complicated. Maybe it requires a little bit more attentive, of an attentive watch. But a good background movie. What have I even seen recently? I'm trying not to recommend anything that I haven't even watched. And there's like a lot of things that are on my watch list that I just haven't actually gotten around to watching, but are pretty good. But yeah, I really do like that. Uh-oh. Dar, what are you talking about? You know what? Actually, Dar, okay, so I put this shirt on. I put this shirt on this morning, and I looked in the mirror, and I was like, I feel like I'm constantly doing this to the shirt and trying to like do this, because it does like, I have boobs, and I don't realize it until I'm wearing a shirt like this. It's weird. Good morning, Liana. I want a chime. I want a doorbell that does that. I want a doorbell that does the melody from, just that part of the melody from Double Lips. You having boobs is as legit as you being 5'6". They're both legit. They're both legit. We all have a titty or two, says Rhiannon. This is true. This is true. Some have 3, I think. Or 1. I mean, but you already covered the 1. That would be dope, Liana. I have to hold on for a second. I want to try something. That's not it. Was it 44? Yeah, there it is. Brian says, "Did someone recommend me a singer band?" Brian says Moses Somni. Oof, excellent recommendation. Rhiannon recommends Elliott Smith and me. Wow, that's good. We're both very sad people. Well, Elliott Smith, rest in peace. Anyways, Brian also says never heard of him. Never heard of him. Check out King Cruel. Yeah, King Cruel's pretty dope. That's a jelly recommendation. Um, thank you, thank you, Leona. I do appreciate that. Good morning, Lindsay. Word up, LD. I like LD. LD seems like a very nice and open person. Mm, it's better. It's better if it's like roads. I've got to get that right. I've got to get that. I'm trying. I'm trying to get it. did not get 298? Is it more drums? Moment of truth, moment of truth. It's not. It's not Cyber. It looks like the gravy train has not ended. It's just called Strings 1. Which, you know, it sounds like a Yamaha string patch. It's not very impressive. It's a string patch. Double A says Legend of Zelda. I guess that is what those games are called. It might... Legend of Zelda. Wow. I think I've shortened Legend of Zelda to Zelda so many times that I forgot the full Legend of Zelda. Zelda Ocarina of Time. Wow, I do take the Legend of off of it a lot. Interesting. I'm trying to become a singer, says LD, but I don't have anything yet, so I'm trying to get inspiration. Well, LD, I had a very, very long conversation with a friend of mine yesterday about how uninspired both of us were. So, if you can find inspiration in this weird time that we're currently in, you've already done so much. It's very hard to be inspired right now, but I'm happy to hear that you're trying to be a singer. I myself am only in the entry level of my singing. I didn't used to sing on songs very often, LD, and that's more so of a recent thing that I've started doing, and I like it. It reminds me of N64 games, says Rhiannon, talking about that string patch. Any specific song somebody wants to hear in this string patch before I go back to piano? I'm trying to get into the habit of not having so much of a... These are my piano songs, and then when we do Friday streams, I start making music. It's a different sound. I'm trying to bring some of those songs into here, and that's why I've been playing Just Believing a little bit more often, or at least the melody. I've been trying to bring some of those over here more. So specifically, Just Believing and Picture This, because those songs are more or less finished. Now I've even started trying to bring over Into the Small, but it's hard because this chord progression. Wait, it's like. I'm trying to figure out how to include that lead in a pretty complicated chord progression, a chord progression that takes two hands. I can let go. Hang on. Oh, I just figured out how to do it. Never mind. That was less complicated than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, bringing that over, bringing Just Believing over, bringing Picture This over. There's a few more. Jumble Butt's one of them. Bringing over this one. Oh, I almost had it. It was no, it was no, it was. Y'all ever eat lunch in your car? Cyber? Oh my god. Cyber, the amount of times I've went and got the messiest weenie. And just sat in my car with the wiener schnitzel bag in the passenger seat and just ate in front of somebody's house, some poor person that was definitely looking outside the window and thinking, why? Why me today? And just eating the entire thing while listening to a podcast, and then actually like curled up in the fetal position and fallen asleep in the driver's seat of my car with like barbecue sauce and relish all over my face. Countless times, Cyber, countless times. In fact, I did it just last week. What's today? Wednesday? Yeah, I did it last week. No, that was this week. Oh, that's sadder. That's significantly sadder. Anyways, yeah, I did it this week. I'll usually go get like a hot and ready, or I'll go get something trash, some type of trash food, and then I'll just eat it in the driver's seat of my car while parked in just a neighborhood somewhere, usually in the shade, like under a tree. And I just sit there and listen to a podcast or be sad. It's a very nice, sad place to be. Really keeps me in touch with my roots. Anyways, eating lunch in the car is imperative. I mean, I guess if you have a car. If you don't have a car, then I suppose that'll be slightly more difficult to do. Brian says, I used to be a manager in retail and ate lunch alone in a car every day, writing lyrics for tunes that I recorded that week. People would walk by and look at me like a freaking lunatic. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I sometimes when I get food, I'm like, it'll be cold by the time I get home, and other times when I get food, I don't want anyone to see me. I don't want anyone to see me eat it. So I'll like park in like a half deserted department store parking lot or like some neighborhood, and I'll just eat by myself. Sometimes when I get home from a particularly long day, I just sit in my car for a whole like 30 extra minutes on my phone. And I mean, I don't have a garage, so sometimes it's a little awkward because like my neighbors will walk past and go. It's always uncomfortable when somebody's parked next to you and they have to get in their car and they can see you just sitting in your car doing nothing. I don't know. I don't want to creep anybody out. Anyways, yeah, I definitely know that feeling, Cyber. I would say, especially in the past year, I've eaten more meals in my car. Not than in my home, that's ridiculous. But I feel like it's meals in my home and then meals in my car is the direct second place, you know. I thoroughly enjoy eating in on curbs. I really love eating on curbs and on stoops. I love sitting on steps and eating food. For a little while, a very short while, there's like a bank, or there's a building that used to be a bank that's in, let's call it, if you live in LA, let's call it South Park, and you know what I mean when I say South Park, but there's a building that used to be a bank, now it's nothing, but there's still the steps there, and I used to always go to this place called, holy crap, I've forgotten the name. Lula's Tacos? I know the building. Wow. Chica's? Chica's Tacos? No, that's not right. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Anyways, I used to go to this place to get a couple of tacos and a bag of chips. And I would always go to this bank. And I would just sit on the steps and I would eat there. And honestly, sometimes I would pass out for a little while. Anyways, I usually just park in a parking lot of the place I got the food, particularly if it's fast food. Sometimes I feel bad when I do that, Cyber. Sometimes I feel bad because people give me these looks as they're coming out of the drive-thru where they'll look at you like, couldn't make it home, huh? You just had to have it. You just had to have that junior bacon cheeseburger right now, huh? Like you just had to park in front of the Wendy's. You couldn't get out here. You couldn't at least get out. You couldn't break like an eye line. Like the people looking at me from inside the place that gave me the food and going like, gross, bro. But yeah, I've definitely done that. I've definitely done that. Also, there's this thing, right? Okay, so there's this thing. And I don't do it anymore. Okay, so my Pizzanista, so I'm going to talk about Pizzanista for like 2 seconds. Every Tuesday I go to a place called Pizzanista. Yesterday was Tuesday. I went to Pizzanista yesterday because it was Tuesday. On Tuesday they have half-priced slices, which for me is a regular price slice. The slices are like $2. They're pretty big, but $2 for a slice of pizza when somebody goes to Little Caesars as much as I do is kind of robbery for me. So anyways, I go there because the slices are cheap that day. You used to be able to eat inside of it. I would say the inside of Pizzanista is, the eating section is roughly as big as my bedroom, actually. It's not very big. Oh my god. Yeah, it's very small. And now that we can't eat inside of any place, of course, you can't even walk in. So they have it set up to where what used to be kind of like a bar you would sit at is now the pickup window. And so you order from there and they give you your food. And for a little while they had tables outside because people couldn't go in, but they could still eat in the open air. I'm talking about LA. I know for a lot of cities it's different, but like for LA, for a while we could eat outside. And then they took away the tables. They were like, no more eating outside. Now pick it up and take it home. Don't eat here. And so they took away the tables. But there's this kind of weird thing where like some people will buy their slice and then they'll just take a few steps to the right and then they'll just start eating it anyway. And I'm like, I mean, you got rid of the tables, but no one's enforcing that these people don't eat here, which is kind of weird. But I don't want to do that because it feels egregious to me, right? It feels like I've broken the contract. It's like, yo, don't eat here, please. So I don't. I get in my car and I drive to Little Tokyo, which is like 2 blocks away. It's literally like less than a five. It's like maybe 3 minutes finding parking. And I park on street parking in Little Tokyo in front of a meter that doesn't have any time on it. And then I just get out of my car and I put the pizza on my trunk. And I just stand there and I eat the pizza on the side of the road in Little Tokyo. And I can't figure out if morally or health wise I have done any better. I'm not close to anybody, but it just feels funny to drive your car to one location to pick up food and then drive your car to another location to just eat next to your car. It's not even like I'm taking it into a park or something. I'm literally parked on the side of the road and then I just get out of my car and stand behind my car and I eat it while people walk by and give me disapproving looks. Hmm. Lindsay got boba with their meal. They're having the best life. They're having a good time. You know, I used to. People drink, right? People drink alcohol, right? Of course they do. Um, by the way, I want to say that the medley was actually an hour long today, so I've done my part. Anyways, people drink beer, and everywhere I go, it's hard to not see beer and pizza, pizza and beer. Everybody's like, beer pairs well with pizza, pizza pairs well with beer. They're a match made in heaven. Maybe having something to do with yeast. I'm not exactly sure. Brian says, I used to go to McDonald's and Anthem so often that when I stopped and finally went back one day, the manager was like, oh, you're back. It's been a while, man. And I was just trying to be nice and friendly, but it was mortifying. I feel you. That happened to me with I'll tell you how that happened to me later actually because it's funny. It's funnier. It's funnier if I tell the whole thing, the whole story. Anyways, Liana says there's a place in Berkeley called Cheese Board, and people used to eat sitting on the in traffic island grass in the middle of the road. That's actually pretty cool. I like when people do stuff like that. That makes it feel like a cool town, like everything's walkable. Let's just eat on the traffic island. Let's eat on the median, guys. That's cool. I'm a fan. That's a hazard, though, says Cyber. It's a cool hazard. Don't do it. Um, but okay, everybody's like pizza and beer, pizza and beer, beer and pizza. I don't drink beer, so I haven't been able to enjoy what I have been told is a match made in heaven. But I love boba, right? Or I love boba. I sometimes I just feel like I drink boba because I live in a city that has a lot of it. I'm not even sure how much I love it. Anyways, it's a thing that I consume a lot of, and I also consume a lot of pizza. And so I thought, why not boba and pizza? Get some pizza, get some boba. It's a match made in heaven. And it's not. It's not a match made in heaven. You know, for somebody that's lactose intolerant, a milk tea and a pizza is just over my daily lactose intake that I'm allowed to have. I think I have to make a choice. I have to choose either boba or I have to choose pizza. And I don't particularly like having fruity drinks with pizza. I like having more like strong drinks, like pizza and tea with milk in it would actually kind of work, but no, it kills me. It actually murders my body. But I'm trying to figure out what boba actually goes with because I've also had boba with a lot of Asian food, which seems like it should slash could pair well, but it doesn't. Boba to me is like I've already had my meal and now it's time for dessert, and I'll go get boba to like after the meal. But having like a cup of boba and a slice of pizza is um, a nightmare that I'm sure I will willfully put myself through again at some point, but just not today. Beer is carbs, boba is sugar. They're one and the same, says Cyber. I've had boba with ramen. The boba is basically a treat. It's hard for me. I feel like I have to finish the whole meal before I start the boba. Like a little bit of salami. Ooh, now that sounds good. Boba's definitely dessert, says Jesse. Pizza and pop, beat combination. I know that like pizza and Coke was a big thing. When I was growing up, I feel like I saw a lot of Coca-Cola and pizza. And even though I'm sure it was more of a marketing thing, I distinctly remember like scenes in movies, maybe even Home Alone, where somebody like takes a bite of pizza and there's like a Coca-Cola or like a Pepsi there. And I have done that before. I just can't remember if I liked it. Dang, I want pizza now. I had pizza yesterday, but like want pizza now. I might do pizza today, guys. I might say heck it. I'm sad, and pizza usually makes me feel good. Okay, so there's this place called Eats a Pizza. Or sorry, there isn't a place called Eats a Pizza any longer. I think in Arizona there was like a local thing called Eats a Pizza when I was a kid, but then it ended up getting bought, I think, by Cece's, because now the Pizza Pizzas that I remember, or sorry, Eats a Pizzas have been turned into Cece's. And to be fair, Eats a Pizza and Cece's were kind of the same thing. Is that the street sweeper? It's very late today. Hold on, I have to wave at him. He's gonna do the thing. I want you guys to see the thing that he does, but if I'm zooming in on him with a camera, he might not like that. I know I wouldn't. I love street sweepers. I like them. I don't like getting a ticket, but I like them. I think they're fun. Okay, anywho, hold on. Cyber's talking about pizza, and now I'm invested. Cyber says, the ideal pizza to me is thin with lots of meat. Tell me more. Thin with lots of meat, but not a lot of grease. It doesn't really exist anywhere, and every time I make my own pizza or get takeout, it's never as good as that image in my mind. Oh, I love this. I didn't know we were going to talk about dream pizzas today. Jesse says I almost got a hot and ready because of your shirt, which never happens. That's marketing for you, baby. I hope if you do ever get a hot and ready that you enjoy it, because Little Caesars is wildly inconsistent, and sometimes it's good, and depending on what location you go to, it could be actual poison. Brian says I had a roommate who used to call Little Caesars little diseasers? Oh no. And I can't not think about when I go there. I'm sorry. It's funny, right after I talked about it poisoning people. Jesse says, it's interesting. Are you talking about Pizza from Canada? No. Jesse King, I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy you're here. Because I have taught... There's a video of me inside of... There's a video... somebody made it a GIF. There's a GIF of me in Pizza in Canada, like doing a little dance while holding 2 slices of pizza, because I had never heard of that place before, and when I was on tour up there, I got to see it for the first time and actually eat it, and wow. I love it. I know that it's like, I would consider Pizza like it's just Canadian Little Caesars, not in taste. I want to be clear, guys. They don't taste the same, but they're comparable in that they are both people have agreed that they are not good. They are bad, low-quality pizza, and they're very cheap, but people still eat it because it found its demographic, which is people that want cheap pizza. But no, I was not talking about Pizza in Canada. There was a place in Arizona called Eats a Pizza that I used to go to when I was really depressed, because it was a pizza buffet. You paid like $3-4, and then you got to eat all you wanted. Lots of places have pizza buffets now. Cece's is a really big one and has the same quality of pizza. It was more so like some people, when they get really sad, they would go to a bar and drink a lot and like gorge themselves on alcohol. And when I would get really sad, I would go to Eats a Pizza and just make myself sick. Like I would give myself like a cheese hangover. And I don't know that it would make me feel better, but it was a lot cheaper than drinking alcohol. Jolly's afraid of entropy. I feel that. Oh my god. Jelly, we're the same person. Pizza costs so little in terms of ingredients, especially purchased in bulk, which is why it's so easy to start a business and make a lot of money, says Cyber. I feel this. I also feel the same way about donut shops, but I'm going to stick to pizza because Cyber was basically talking about a dream pizza, which was very thin, no grease, lots of meat. Which, I'm going to be fair, I've never had. I don't even know how possible that is, because I feel like the meat itself and the cheese would make the pizza greasy. I don't know how you make it on greasy pizza, but I love that we're talking about dream pizzas because I have one, and guys, Pizzanista has been making it for me almost exactly like every day. Oh. So there's this thing, and I love New York pizza, by the way. Oh, do I need to get into this? I guess I have 2 dream pizzas because New York pizza I consider to be its own beast. It's not pizza, it's New York style pizza. And so like my dream New York style pizza is like, you know how in the West Coast and sometimes on the East Coast, no offense to the East Coast, when you go to a pizza place, particularly a not very busy pizza place, you order a couple of pepperoni slices that have been sitting there for God knows how long. They pop it into the oven and they kind of make it warm again, or they burn it and they make it completely black on the bottom, and then they're like, here's your freaking stupid burnt triangle disasters. That'll be $7. And you pay and you're sad because it's garbage. I hate that. I hate it. What I like and from a New York pizza place is I like it when the pizza is like kind of flimsy and foldable, but you turn it upside down, you check the bottom of it, and there's no black. Maybe some dark brown. You know, it's kind of got that weird like dustiness that like pizza has. It's like dusty on the bottom, maybe a little light brown, but like no black, please. I don't want like crispy scrape and tear apart the roof of my mouth pizza. And I feel like when you're going to a New York pizza place, a lot of times that's what you're getting, and it freaking sucks. I'm not into it. I'm not into that. And I know that that's a big thing. The dust is flour. Thanks, Liana. I know that's the flour on the bottom. I know that a lot of people like that, and I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying that having like the burnt pizza is bad. I think that that's cool. Um, but just for me and my taste, because me and Cyber were talking about the fantasy pizza, we're talking about dream pizzas. My dream pizza doesn't have any black burnt bits. It's not charred, and it also isn't so crispy that it's like scratching the roof of my mouth. It's like very like doughy and malleable. It's got like a little crisp on the outside, but it's fluffy on the inside. I need crisp and fluff. I don't want like to bite into the pizza and for people to hear crunch like I'm eating a saltine. You know? I want fluffy. Crispy on the outside, fluffy on the inside. Perfect. Um, Jesse says chard is just bitter, not good. It's thank you. Thank you. Honestly, thank you. Um, Cyber likes how these stylists are starting. Pizza Nista has a mac and cheese pizza. Oh no. Yeah, why does everybody have one of those? I haven't had it, by the way, Cyber. I don't heck around with stuff like that, but they do have a mac and cheese pizza. Use white meat, says Crow, and brie cheese to avoid grease pizza. Interesting. As somebody who enjoys brie cheese but probably will never eat it on a pizza, that's actually dope. And as somebody who loves white meat but also does not like chicken on pizza, um, that's cool that we've cracked the code. I will say this, Cyber and everyone, when I get a pizza that is sausage, Italian sausage on it, it's significantly less greasy than when I get a pepperoni pizza. I think that pepperonis are maybe like one of the greasiest meats or something, because even if you get like a cheese slice versus a pepperoni slice, the cheese slice is way less greasy. And so I feel like Cyber's dilemma is wanting a pizza that has tons of meat on it, but it has no grease, and like it's like, yeah, I don't know how you do that. Unless Cyber, again, I'm not saying anything about how to make it perfect because I'm not a pizza chef. You've made a lot more pizza in your life than I have ever, or will ever probably. But like maybe if you like make the meat on the side and kind of like degrease it, you know, like you make it over there. Maybe like you dab it before adding it on top of the pizza. I don't know. Even after I said that, it sounds stupid. I'm just trying to make dreams come true over here. Pepperonis are grease mongers, says Cyber. Pepperoni is really oily. Word. Definitely more of a red meat on pizza person, says Jelly, but chicken is cheaper in the long run, so I usually make mine with chicken. Oh, if I'm making it at home, I'll make it with chicken. Chicken is the only meat that I prepare. I refuse to cook red meat. You ever have barbecue chicken pizza? Oh, asks Lindsay a Cyber. Sausage and fennel sounds good. I don't know that I've ever had sausage on pizza that didn't have fennel in it. There's a lot of gatekeeping going on in the pizza world. What up with that, says Brian. I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. Put whatever you want on pizza, right? If it's going in my mouth, I would like certain things to be on it, but I mean, put sprinkles on it if you want. I don't care. I think if you have pizza, okay, here's the thing. If you have a circle of bread with sauce and cheese on it, from my perspective, it's a pizza now. I, however, do not like it when people call things pizza that don't have at least those ingredients on it. If it doesn't have cheese or sauce, and it's just a circle of bread that you've now put like chocolate and icing on, I don't think that's a pizza. I think it's a circle for sure, but I think you've taken away some of the things that allow us to call it a pizza. It's like when people like cut up bananas and then they put like peanut butter on it, and they're like, it's banana sushi. Look, it's banana sushi. We put like pretzel crumbs and peanut butter on a banana, and it's a little roll. We rolled it in like peanut butter and pretzel crumbs. It's banana sushi, and now it's on the Today Show, and we're showing your children how to make it. That's not sushi. As somebody who doesn't even eat sushi or enjoy it, that's not sushi. That's a banana. Just call it what it is. It's a pastry. It's not pizza. I agree with that, Crow. I'm not a huge fan, but it's edible. It's so dope. What a great thing to say about chicken barbecue pizza. I also think it's edible, and I'm also not a fan of it, Cyber. There's a specific type of pepperoni, says Cyber, that I've had once that didn't have a ridiculous amount of grease on it, but it was a fancy pizza place, and I've never been able to find that meat. Find that meat. I would love that as a game show. Alfredo sauce still counts it as a pizza. True. True. Yeah. I'll count it. I'll allow it as not an Italian or anybody who has any authority over what is and is not a pizza. I'll allow Alfredo sauce on the pizza to still be called a pizza. Hot sauce, says Jesse. No. I'm gonna say no. I'm not saying barbecue sauce is okay, Jesse. I don't. If you're replacing pizza sauce with barbecue sauce, I don't think it's a pizza anymore. I'm gonna say no, that's not a pizza. To me personally, I don't think that's anything outside of me in the world. I just think in my brain, if I'm looking at a pizza that doesn't have pizza sauce on it, pizza sauce is pretty important to me. It's called pizza sauce here. We call it pizza sauce. If you replace with barbecue sauce, I don't know that I'm calling that a pizza anymore. I can't play over and under. I can't do that. Crow, thank you. Let me go spicy, but only slightly so. It's a flatbread, but I like the way it tastes. Oh, that's smarter. Flatbread, yeah. Of course I remember Lunchables pizza. Lunchables pizzas was like, it was like code. It was like an indicator of like the bourgeoisie in elementary school. Like when a kid like whipped open a Lunchable, I was like, oh, your family's built different. Like your parents is your dad a lawyer? Is your mom a doctor? You got the Lunchables, the whole pizza set. You're like crafting stuff. Well, I got like the sandwich bag that doesn't even have the Ziplocky bit on it. It's like the weird foldable ones. I had that with like a regular sandwich made by a human, usually me. Anyways, yeah, Lunchables. I definitely remember Lunchables, but not from the perspective of somebody that was getting them. Hello, Hungry Hippo. Welcome back, Mushroom. Vinegar in the sauce and have a bitter hot sauce. I'm inclined to believe this. of liquid that was trapped. Huh. That's very smart, actually, Cyber. Also, yeah, probably easier to get the thing in there. Capri Suns are great, but similar to fruit snacks, someone is going to make a comment about you consuming them as an adult. Oh, Welch's fruit snacks go pretty hard. I remember buying tons of Welch's fruit snacks just because they had vitamins in them, and I was grown up enough to care about vitamin intake, but not grown up enough to actually eat a fruit. And so that was like my healthy decision. I was like, I'm not going to eat a freaking zebra cake. I'm going to eat a Welch's fruit snack. But I'm very, very familiar with the fruit snacks, yes. Outside air to the juice wall. What? That's actually dope. Oh. Okay, what you're saying I actually understand. I've never done that to make lukewarm stuff appear colder, but I've done it to make hot stuff appear lukewarmer. But that's actually really funny. Did it work? Did you get a refreshing cold drink out of it? I mean, can you buy Capri? Sorry, can you buy Capri Sun in a jug? Can you buy it like in a bigger delivery device so that I can have like a glass of water or a glass of ice and then like pour some Capri Sun over? Because that kind of actually sounds dope right now. Just a big ice cold glass of Capri Sun. That might hit. It might. I'm prepared for it not to though. Guys, it's $2.98. It's $2.98. There's only 2 more left. It's just tomorrow, guys, and then the production stream, and then season 3 is over. So, Baywatch, right? Baywatch. I've found out that Pluto doesn't really play the episodes in order. They do kind of like, it's like Baywatch on shuffle kind of. You'll get lucky and have 2 right back to back, but you're typically getting a lot of random episodes. Sometimes David Hasselhoff's in his prime. Sometimes he's slightly past it. Sometimes he's embarrassingly kind of far past it. And something that's really interesting is when you're looking at the earlier episodes, it really is about saving lives. And then when you're looking at the middle episodes, like mid-series, it's really about like intrigue and kind of cool, zany adventures. And then once you get to the end, things are just so bonkers. They're like doing the weirdest things. Like Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage are in the show. The Beach Boys come for an episode. Characters die but then get like resurrected. There's magic involved. There's ghosts. There's elves, like magic elves that appear on the beach in an episode, and they I don't want to get too into it, but Baywatch gets pretty wild, towards the late series. And I was thinking about it in terms of season 2. When season 1 was happening, everything was kind of regular, and it made sense. I was kind of just like making music, filling out improv and stuff like that. Season 2, there was things added that were good and made sense. It was like, oh, we're gonna play Among Us for a few rounds, or we're gonna watch Groundhog Day. Won't that be fun? And then Discord happened. I wonder at what season does this become shark jumpy? At what season does Morning Medley actually have nothing to do with music anymore, and it's just me like live streaming myself like drinking barbecue sauce? Or at what point does the Morning Medley stop being me trying to make music? I don't know. But season 3 probably won't be that. Season 3 might get a little weird, but reasonably so. We're a long ways from that, says Cyber. Yes, I hope so. It is whatever you want it to be. I look forward to the shark jumpy bits. I know I won't enjoy it when I'm there, but right now I look forward to having completely run out of ideas and talent and skill, and then the stream is just me walking around a grocery store crying. Fun fact, Baywatch takes place in the same universe as Doctor Who. Those slow motion running shots are canon. They have the power to manipulate time. Word up. I mean, Baywatch takes place in the same universe as Baywatch Nights, and that's all that matters, baby. We'll officially jump the shark when Gabriel becomes a mod. Whoa. I don't know where Gabriel is right now, but we love you wherever you are, and we're sending you strength and happiness. Gabe. Yeah, I think I don't want to talk about Baywatch anymore. But there is a show called Baywatch Nights that does coincide with Baywatch in the dopest way. I love it. I wish that there was more, when we talk about Michael Jordan, and we talk about LeBron, and people say, nobody will ever be as big as Michael Jordan. You can't surpass Mike. MJ, he's the greatest, And they're right, and they're also wrong, Because it's like, it's so hard to be as big as... we all like Mike here. It's like, certain heights can't be reached in the same way as they could at one point, just because at one point selling 1 million records was a huge freaking deal, or at some point going on a world tour was a big freaking deal. It's like, yes, technically BTS is bigger than the Beatles were, but the Beatles did a thing that was so impressive at the time that it's so hard to surpass the Beatles. I hope nobody took offense to that Beatles versus BTS statement. Some people get really upset about that when the two are compared, for reasonable reasons, for reasons that have reason. I like Brian. Okay, but you can't spell Beatles without BTS. This is absolutely right. So where would the Beatles be without BTS? And I think that's a really cool argument to make because, yeah, like Stevie Wonder, Quincy Jones, there's all these people that I really, really like and look up to, like as musicians. And it's like, they're not gods. At one point they will be surpassed in every way, whether it's by album sales or amount of works made or complexity of arrangements or whatever, they will be surpassed. But it's hard to mentally overwrite them because what they did at the time was revolutionary, and then what somebody else did feels like just beating them. The first person who makes a world record for the most hot dogs eaten in an amount of time. We remember him. We know his name. And even if somebody kind of beats him by like one or two hot dogs, yes, technically this new hot dog man, he's the weenie champ. But we remember the first weenie champ. It's like it's hard to overwrite him in our minds and our hearts. And the reason that I bring that up is, holy crap, why did I bring that up? Why was I talking about, why did I even bring up Michael Jordan? I forgot how we got here. The first weenie champ. Um, Boys That Sing, BTS, the Beatles, Baywatch. Everything comes back to Baywatch. Okay, so the point of it was Baywatch. The point of it was, sometimes when I look back at shows like Baywatch, Baywatch was the biggest show in the nation at some point, right? Right. That's not a rhetorical question. As the answer is yes, it was. It was the biggest show, and when you look at it, you can feel it. You look at all the sponsorships that are happening in the show. You see Adidas everywhere. You see Coca-Cola. You're seeing Hulk Hogan walking around. You're seeing Richard, what's that dude's name? Richard Branson, the Virgin dude. Not the Virgin dude, but the dude that owns Virgin. Like you're seeing Richard Branson? Richard, you guys know who I'm talking about. He owned Virgin Airlines. Like, so you're seeing all these people come in. You're like, dang, actually, this is why Pamela Anderson was really big. Like, you're seeing like a lot of importance put in that show. And it's like when you look at Friends, it's like, yeah, this friend. I'm not exactly sure, Lindsay, what specific years, but I could look it up. It would be pretty easy research break. But you look at something like Friends, and you're like, yeah, this was the biggest show in the nation at one point, and you can feel it, even if you weren't alive during the time that it was. You can kind of feel it when you're looking at the wild amount of guest stars. It's like Bruce Willis is on this show. This is wild. Like you're looking at the people that are coming onto the show, and you're also, if you look at fashion from that time, you see that the show was like dictating fashion, not the other way around. Like what people wear was not why the characters dressed that way. It was like the characters were making fashion. They were making senses of humor. Like there are people that patterned their whole sense of humor off of like Chandler from Friends for a while. And it was interesting. And the world kind of always had those. There's always that big show, that big movie, that big band, that big song. There's always something that was driving the culture. And I feel like right now, there's just so many shows, right? And there's so many streaming things that I feel like every now and then we'll kind of have a show that people talk about a lot, like Modern Family or something like that. But it seems hard to find that, like, that show. That is the show that we all care about. Like, it was Breaking Bad for a second. It was Game of Thrones for a little while. But do you kind of understand? I don't know. Game of Thrones was a very big show. But it didn't seem, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but it didn't seem to, like, inform culture in a way. Probably because it was, like, about dragons and knights and stuff like that. But I don't feel like people were looking at Game of Thrones and then, like, talking like people from Game of Thrones or dressing like Daenerys or something like that. It feels more removed. Like, when was the last time that we had like a show or like a sitcom or a movie that really like drove what people were saying in the streets? Like when American Pie came out and just everybody started saying MILF, like that word, that acronym didn't exist before American Pie. And it's like, and then it just became everywhere all of a sudden, and everybody said it like it was just a part of the English language. And Brian's like, oh god, it was Borat. Okay. That's. I'm not gonna argue that it wasn't Borat. Mid 90s was the stride, but I'd say probably its peak was 92 to 96, says Brian. Thank you, Brian. Streaming services being a thing kind of makes it hard for there to be a big show now. Right, because not everybody is watching the same things. There's too many options for media nowadays, and there is no single media everyone gravitates to dedicatedly. Yeah. When there's a big show, it lasts for a week or two because everyone binges it so fast. All these are true things. Walking Dead, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, and then stuff like Sopranos. AMC shows for sure. Yeah, Walking Dead was really big. Walking Dead, I would say, and maybe even... Never mind, I'm not going to say what I was going to say. But Walking Dead and Breaking Bad for sure. As somebody that really, really loved Breaking Bad, didn't really watch Walking Dead, but did read it. I liked reading it, and Breaking Bad I liked watching it, and then Game of Thrones I read. Oh, that's kind of funny. I read Walking Dead but didn't watch it. I watched Breaking Bad, and then I read Game of Thrones but didn't watch it. I wonder what AMC will do next. Bridgerton and Queen's Gambit were like the top shows recently, and then you hardly hear about them, says Lindsay. Right. Like that Tiger King thing. It's like, you heard about it everywhere for like a couple of weeks, and then all of a sudden, never again. Lost. Cyber saying Lost maybe was the last show that seemed to inform culture. In the Baywatch days, most people had network TV. Absolutely. Like, yeah, I mean, I understand. I understand the whole, like, network TV going into streaming, where it was, like, at 6 p.m. on a Tuesday, a lot of people were watching one of four things, because there wasn't that many stations to choose from. It was like you were looking at NBC, maybe Fox, CBS, or ABC, and there wasn't that many things to choose from. So, yeah, I think that once streaming sites happened, it became a little bit harder to get people in front of their TV sets to watch a live television. I want people to watch Mr. Robot, but that's not very mass appeal, only because people assume it's harder to grasp than it actually is, says Cyber. Tiger King, Bird Box, whatever the heck that movie was called. It was definitely called Bird Box, and it was very popular for about 2 weeks, yes. Maybe less. Actually, like 1 week, I think. Crow says that they know a word that got normalized. WAP. Okay. I think that music still definitely drives culture. Like, if we're talking about just the lexicon of vocabulary, like, Drake has put more words in the English language in the past 10 years than I think any other single human being. And phrases and acronyms for sure. But, yeah, I think music still does drive the culture to some degree, Crow. Gus from Breaking Bad isn't even Latino. That's actually really funny. I think I just assumed that Gus was Dominican. That's funny that he's arguably not, though. Is he not? That's funny. What a great actor. He acted Dominican so believably. I mean, he's also in The Boys on Amazon Prime. I love him as an actor. He's very, very talented. Community is also my favorite comedy, says Brian. Ooh, Cyber likes that show. I'm surprised there aren't more sitcoms being produced in the streaming era, though. Sitcoms are hard, but yeah, I feel you. I think they just don't seem to be doing very well, because like a few of them, like Netflix had a few original sitcoms, and most of them have gotten like tanked, like canceled, removed, discontinued. He's from Denmark. His parents are Italian and American. Wow. What? That's dope. That's sick. I like that. Turns out I like that. Anyways, yeah, it's just so. It's really interesting to see how, like, a movie, yeah, like, everybody, like, it would just drive people. Like, Superbad seemed to, like, be a huge deal to a whole generation. Like, Superbad drove people. Friends drove people. What's another big one? 90210 drove people. Like, people were looking at this thing and they were like, this is how I'm going to talk. This is how I'm going to dress. I want to be these characters. And it was so widespread that everybody knew where it was coming from. It's kind of hard to have that now. Ooh, interesting. Napoleon Dynamite says, yeah, Jelly, Napoleon Dynamite was another one of those. Um, I don't know. I feel like I've like kind of ran it on and kind of ate up a bunch of the stream time, but that is something that's interesting to me. When I'm watching Baywatch, sometimes I just have to think that. I have to think about that. I have to think like, yo, this was the biggest show in the nation. This was the show that everyone was watching and everyone wanted to be on. Like, a bunch of musicians wanted to be on it. People wanted to guest star in it in an episode. Like, everybody wanted a piece of Baywatch. Like, soda companies wanted their brand in it. Pizza companies wanted to, like, make a guest appearance. Like, people wanted to be on that show. And I think I'm glad that granted, I wasn't, like, an adult during Baywatch. I didn't really know what was going on. But I I'm glad that I at least got to experience like the tail end of like real direct media dictated culture. It was fun. I don't know if it was a good or a bad thing. I'm just gonna look at it right now as if it's a neutral thing, but it's kind of interesting to see that. Like when a show gets really big, or a movie gets really big, or an album gets really big, and it just people are taking everything from it. They're taking fashion, they're taking vernacular, they're taking everything from it, and it like makes this thing live longer. You know, like we made Friends live longer by literally naming that hairstyle to Rachel and people wearing it. We made it last longer by everybody using jokes from it. We made The Office last so long in America because everybody kept quoting it and everybody was saying like, "I'm like Oscar. I'm like a, you know, I'm a Dwight type. He's doing the gym face." Like everybody kind of had like they made it last longer. I feel like now outside of Twitter, it's hard to like find a thing that really grips everybody like that. And I don't know that we'll ever be able to get back there. So I'm kind of glad that I at least get to witness a lot of art from the past that did do that. And I get to see some of the direct influences it had on culture and myself personally. I've taken a lot of inspiration from like some of those big, huge shows. Curb does get memed a lot. Curb definitely gets memed a lot. Um, 24 is another show that was big. 24 was very big. I guess arguably The Office was big, but I appreciate Community more. The Office was massive. Yeah, I'm talking appreciation of the show aside. The Office was like massive. Any show that can get rid of its main character and somehow the show keeps going is massive. I don't care what anybody says. Same thing with like Scrubs. Scrubs was huge. I haven't seen every episode of Scrubs, but I thoroughly liked that show, and it Scrubbed had a huge impact, I think, on people and culture in that generation at the time. I think Zach Braff, who has been in and directed a lot of other things, he still is like JD for a lot of people because of how iconic that show was. Saved by the Bell, like I don't even know how many years we are from Saved by the Bell now. Like what, 20 at least? At least no, more than 20, right? Because that would put us in 2000. Jesus Christ, we're what, like 30 years from Saved by the Bell, and like homie is still AC Slater for a lot of people. What's his name? I can't think of his name. Maybe it's Marco something or something Marco. Anyways, he's still AC Slater for a lot of people, and it's like that's how big of a deal that show is for a lot of people. And not everybody in the stream's gonna know what I'm talking about, but Neil Patrick Harris is still Doogie Howser for a lot of people. I tried to make a Doogie Howser reference to somebody last week, and they did not get it, and I was like, "Oh crap!" They don't know who Doogie Howser is because it was an ad for some show. There's some new show on like CBS or something like that where there's like a kid doctor basically. It's like this. One of you guys might know who I'm talking or what show I'm talking about, but it's like a kid doctor, and it's not called Doogie Howser. I don't know what it's called. It's called like maybe The Good Doctor or The Good Kid or something. And The Good Doctor, yeah, Brian. And I was like looking at that, and my friend was like, "Oh, is he like a kid? How is he a kid doctor?" And I was like, "This is just Doogie Howser. This already happened. It was Neil Patrick Harris." And they had no idea what I was talking about. And I was like, "Oh my god, Neil Patrick Harris?" And they're like, "Yeah, How I Met Your Mother." And I was like, "Oh crap." Oh no. Is Neil Patrick Harris How I Met Your Mother man now? Is that what he... Whatever. Anyways. How I Met Your Mother is another show that I feel like big. Was big. But it exists in like a weird bubble universe where nobody, I feel like, references it anymore. But is that what we know Neil Patrick Harris from now? I can't believe I watched all that show either, Lindsay. My parents like The Good Doctor, but they also love Doogie Howser. Yeah, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Have I seen every episode of Doogie Howser? No, I have not. Do I even know what was happening in Doogie Howser? No. I was like, I remember, okay, my memory of Doogie Howser is sitting next to the couch and my parents watching it. And I remember the intro song being so cool. I think it was like Rhodes Piano. It's like something like that. I think I'm humming it wrong, but It was very cool, like something that I would play on piano. Anyways, I remember seeing that and being like, this is a kid and he's a doctor, and remembering his stupid egg head. His head was like shaped like Tweety Bird, and I was like, he's a kid and he's a doctor. And then he just kind of kept showing up and stuff. He was like in Harold and Kumar, and I was like, oh, it's the dude from Doogie Howser. And then he was in How I Met Your Mother, and I was like, oh, it's the dude from Doogie Howser. And then he was in Series of Unfortunate Events, and I was like, oh, Doogie Howser, man. Wow, he's still getting work. My memory of Doogie Howser, says Brian, was a weird relationship he had with that nurse, and how even when I was a kid, I was like, that ain't right, Chief. Hey, that's sick. Was the nurse just significantly older than him? Wasn't he like 14 or something? He was like, I don't need to explain the plot. He was a kid and he was a doctor. That's the entire plot. Jesse King says, after I heard about how I Met Your Mother was going to end, I didn't even end up watching the series all the whole way through. Nobody spoiled it for me, I don't think. In fact, Jesse, the ending of How I Met Your Mother left such a non-impact on me that I don't even remember. I don't remember how it ended. I don't remember how he met their mother. I don't remember how the mother was met. But I remember hating all of the characters and laughing a lot. I think I hated all of the characters. Yo, I hated those characters. Yo, they were trash. Also, the freaking one girl, what's her name, Lily or whatever, the one that was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, yo, screw her character. Also, screw her husband. Screw Ted, too. Everybody in it was trash. Anyways, Cyber says, y'all remember 2.5 Men? That show was massive. Here's the thing about that show, Cyber. That show also, much like How I Met Your Mother, exists in a really weird bubble where I know it was big, and I've also seen 20 minimum episodes of that show, but I can't recall one plot line. Really? I don't remember anything. Big Bang Theory. So Big Bang Theory takes place in Pasadena. For those of you that know where I live, I can walk to Pasadena. It's right there. It's right there. It's just right there, guys. And there's a street that they renamed Big Bang Theory Way after the popularity of that show. And as somebody who isn't a big fan of that show, but loves a restaurant that happens on Big Bang Theory Way, I'm conflicted. It's not the greatest. Big Bang Theory is horrible. It's everything I don't want. It's like bad IT Crowd. Like, I love IT Crowd, and it's like they found a way to make it not good. And I feel like it's just so easy to hate that show, though. Like, me talking about how much I hate that show is kind of like people talking about how much they hate. I'm trying to think of something that isn't really bad, but Jesus Christ, it's really hard. Anyways, it's just, yeah, it's easy to hate the show because the show kind of sucks. And so even, like, making fun of it or talking about why it's trash, like, I don't really feel like I'm saying anything profound. It's just, like, whatever. But I mean, it spawned Little Sheldon, and so everybody really loves Little Sheldon, I guess. It's like really heartwarming or something. I don't know. I really don't care. I can't watch it. Anyways, Ava's here. Hi, Ava. Welcome. Ava doesn't like Big Bang Theory. The most unpopular opinion I have is that I hate the movie Frozen. Oh, Ava. 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 Ava comes in sometimes and says things that make me so happy. We disagree on plenty, but sometimes it's like I feel so connected to you. I feel so connected to you sometimes. Sheldon is dead, fish, of this show. Oh, I thought you were saying Sheldon was dead, like in the show. Like Sheldon dies in Big Bang Theory, and that's why they had to make a prequel series and not a sequel series, because he dies at the finale of Big Bang Theory. Does anyone in here even like Frozen, says Lindsay? I don't want to put anybody on blast for liking Frozen. It's more of this, like, I hate it. It's so inept. I don't like Frozen. I don't like Frozen. But I don't like a lot of things. So you probably have a better reason for not liking Frozen. You probably have a better reason for it. Brian's out of here. Yeah, it's been 2 hours. It's been 2 hours. The stream technically is over now. I should start going over news. Uh, I think I'm gonna say this and then I can get to news. I think kids are a kids take in stuff, right? They're always eating stuff. Eat, eat, eat. All they do is eat and poop. They eat cartoons and they poop profanities. And so when you're trying to, give media to a child, you have to be very careful about what you're giving them because they're like a sponge and they just soak it up. And so I suppose that like if we're giving, I'm trying to think about when I was a kid, what was I watching? It's like I was watching Little Mermaid, I was watching Lion King, I was watching Ninja Turtles, I was watching Power Rangers. And as much as I would like to say those things have not shaped my adult life, in little ways they have. My senses of humor and stuff like that, and the things that I think that are important, the things that I think are funny, the things that I think suck, the things that I think aren't worth my time, were at least in some way informed by the stuff that I was taking in at that early age. And I think that I would be a completely different, or at least a subtly but notably different person if I was, as a kid, in taking things like Frozen and Zootopia. I think I would be a different kid than the kid that that was looking at Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers and stuff like that. And so when I look at like the facial expressions that like people make in like Pixar movies and stuff like that, and I'm looking at the things they're saying and all that stuff, like I'm looking at just what the kids are taking in. Sometimes I look at the kid that's watching that stuff and I'm like, what's this gonna do? What's this gonna do later? What does this come out as later? I'm sure I told you guys when I was babysitting my neighbor's kid, and we were watching not Zootopia. We were watching that movie Zombies. I was talking about that and like how zombies. I actually got kind of invested in it, like looking at this movie just because I was trying to understand her, and I was like, maybe I'll understand her a little bit better if I watch this thing she was watching. And one, I did understand her quite a bit better after that, and her sense of humor. But two, I was like, this is not something that I was, able to watch as a kid. There wasn't this for me. I wonder what the Frozen kids will be like. I wonder what the Tangled kids will be like, when they grow up. I'm not saying they're going to be bad or anything, but I just wonder how that is going to manifest in a different way than it manifested for me. My parents didn't watch the cartoons that I watched as a kid, and it definitely shaped a little bit of what their sense of humor was in a certain way. I also think, like, for example, there's that movie Tenet, right? And no spoilers because it's a good movie and I think everybody should see it. But Tenet has like some really like time stuff. It's got like time stuff in it. If you see like something like Inception that has more like dream stuff by the same dude. But like if you look at these movies, sometimes there are movies that are a little bit more. What do we call those movies? Cyber? What do you call a movie that's? It's not just sci-fi. It's not just science fiction. It's also confusing. Like it is by definition kind of confusing, and you're gonna have to like pull it apart a little bit. What do you call a movie like that? Art house? I mean, no, I don't think that art house implies confusion. Puzzle film? A puzzle film? Psychological, maybe? I like these suggestions. I can't think of a specific genre of movie. Yeah, right? It's weird. But there are certain movies, we're talking about Tenet, or at least a spoiler-free Tenet discussion, I suppose. An enigmatic film? Maybe. I don't know if that's a definite genre, right? I feel like it should be, because I feel like we're getting a lot of movies like that. I feel like there should almost be like a... I was talking to Sky yesterday, and I was like, I feel like plants should come with a little difficulty sticker on it, where it's like, this plant is green, or this plant is expert mode. Make sure that you know what you're doing, or you'll kill it. Like, I think that movies sometimes should come with like a sticker where it's like, this plot is Transformers, and you will understand it. Bad robot versus good robot. And then there should be another sticker where it's like, hey man, maybe don't put this on in the background while you're like knitting or something. You might need to like pay attention to this one. Or it's like, hey, don't like take your like 80-year-old grandpa to see this movie because he's not going to follow the plot. Like, I think that sometimes disclaimers like that would be kind of cool. But anyways, Tenet is one of those confusing movies, and it's like I can't just recommend that movie to anybody, you know, because I know they might not enjoy it if they can't piece it together. In the same way, somebody seeing Inception and not really understanding what's happening, it's not going to be fun. It's going to be visually engaging, but plot-wise, it's not going to make a lot of sense. I think that's what critics are intended to describe. Oh, a time wrong. Like Looper. Yeah, something like Looper, right, would be very complicated for me to like recommend to certain people, I know. But then something like Back to the Future would be very simple. Because I feel like we weren't getting things too confusing. I feel like Terminator ruined it for everybody. Like, Terminator ruined it for everybody. Anyways, hi Wizard. Welcome. Or we're closing up here. Art house films often have... I don't even... seinen aspects, but not always. Oh, that's actually pretty funny. Wow! That might be the first time that somebody said seinen in this in this stream. Ava. That's really funny. Oh, wait. Okay, did any of y'all see Thinking of Ending Things? I didn't see it because somebody told me that it was the biggest pile of garbage they'd ever watched, and they hate the director. So maybe I should see it. I think they have a personal grudge against that director. But they were like, it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen, and I feel like I've wasted my time. Don't watch it, Omni. But what's her name from... it was horrible, says Lindsay. Wow, okay, so never mind. I thought you were trying to recommend it, Lindsay. I was going to shoot the movie some bail. I was going to be like, uh-oh. Okay, alright. Alright. Oh, crap. I thought you liked the movie. My bad. Anyways, yeah, my friend was like, yo, I hate this director. Every time he touches something, a piece of art, he turns it into a steaming pile of crap, and I refuse to give him any more money. And I was like, God dang, I've never seen anybody so passionately against a film. They're like, he's so prestigious and condescending that he thinks he's a genius, but he's just saying nothing. He's saying nonsense for 2 hours, and he forces you to listen to it and pretends it's profound, but it's not. He ranted to me for at least an hour, no exaggeration, for at least an hour about how bad this movie was. It was mostly funny, though. Anyways, Brian says, this reminds me of a convo I was having with a buddy recently about the Academy. Who's the Academy? How do I join? I have hot takes. I mean, we know some people that are in the Academy, right? Isn't Tom Hanks in the Academy? I would watch Frozen 5 times instead of that movie. Wow. Profound nothingness. Sorry, now I'm mad. Wow. You know, pretentious artists often say, if it made you feel anything at all, it accomplished its goal. Even if it made you angry or whatever. I don't particularly feel this way. If somebody listens to my song and they're like, yo, that sucked. That was trash. I don't go, well, at least it made you feel something. I usually I don't know, cry or something. But anyways, I think at least you gave it your time, Lindsay. I'm sorry that you didn't enjoy it, though. But I did almost watch it, specifically because Homegirl from Hereditary was in it, and I do like her. Can't think of her name right now, and that sucks, because she's Australian. And I like Australian people. Satoshi Kon has a perfect Clone, has perfect blue, Paranoia Agent Paprika, still all those scratch and itch for me. Word. Paranoia Agent I might need to watch again, because when I did watch it, I think my brain was dumb, and I didn't get it, and therefore didn't enjoy it, but maybe I would enjoy it more as an adult. I think there's a specific type of hatred for people who think they're saying something profound, and they just... Oh. Good morning, Kit James. Paranoia Agent is the weakest of the three by far. Oh, word up, Ava. I love films that leave me kind of confused, but that was garbage. I would like for you... I mean, you don't need to do this, Lindsay. You don't need to do this. Actually, I'm going to say this, and I actively encourage you not to do it, but I do listen to Mark Maron's podcast, and Mark Maron interviews Homegirl from that movie, and he basically, rants on about how he saw the movie, and he hated it, and it wasn't good, and she tries to shoot the director some bail, and Mark is like, no, explain it to me. Who was this thing? Or, was it the dude in the truck? Was it the dude in the truck? And she's like, I can't, this is a podcast. I can't spoil, my own movie. And he's like, yo, you need to talk to me off the air then. And he actually, ends the he ends the interview early, and I guess she explains it to him or something, but he was very upset, and I thought it was very funny. Liana says, you ever watch Memento? I did watch Memento. I watched Memento very late. I didn't see the movie Memento until, I think, 2016, 2017, and I did enjoy it. I do like movies like that. I like movies that are told chronologically out of order. Um, I like Quentin Tarantino films for that reason. I like the movie Smokin' Aces for that reason. I like Guy Ritchie films. Like films that are told from like a lot of different perspectives in a weird time puzzle. I love like ensemble cast, Ocean's 11 type films. What do we call those? A heist movie, even if there is no heist. Snatch, I think, is actually about a heist, so that is a heist movie. Two Smoking Barrels or whatever it's called. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. It's heist movie. Word. Can it be a heist movie even if there's technically no heist? That might be a stupid question. But can it just be like a cool ensemble cast? Like, can I call... Can I call Pulp Fiction a heist movie? Can I call Jackie Brown a heist movie? Actually, Jackie Brown kind of is a heist movie. Never mind. Just because that's what it's presented as. No spoilers, baby. Says Cyber. Word up. Yes, yes it can, says Ava. Thank you, Ava. Yeah, okay, cool. Pulp Fiction is a fiction filled with pulp. I didn't know what Pulp Fiction was before I saw the movie. I thought it was just two fun words that he put together. I thought it was supposed to sound sexy, and boy did it. Is Burn After Reading a heist movie then? Ooh, maybe. Yeah, okay, then I would say yes. 10 types of movies according to my screenwriting book. Good movies, bad movies, funny movies, sad movies. Is heist movie one of the 10 types? I don't think I'd call Pulp Fiction a heist movie. Okay. Pulp Fiction is kind of a pulling from, like, Speedy magazine stories of the time. Seedy, sorry, not Speedy. Yeah, like Pulp Fiction things. Monster in the House is one type of movie. Jaws, Tremors, Aliens, Meet the Parents. What's the second type? Golden Fleece. Star Wars. What? Golden Fleece? I'm not sure I understand that title. Anyways, Out of the Bottle. Liar, Liar, Bruce Almighty. What? So just Jim Carrey movies? I don't understand. So wait, hold on. Are you gonna keep? Wait, I need more. I need more. I need more clarification. Some of these don't make sense to me. What's Golden Fleece? This stream is running too long. I don't think any director sets out to make a pulp film because it's usually a label applied after the fact. Out of the Bottle. Golden Fleece is the quest myth. It's about a hero who goes out on the road. Lord of the Rings. Is it because heroes usually wear golden fleece? I guess that's where I was getting stumped. The book is Save the Cat. Ooh, I like that. I get that reference. Guys, I get that reference. I understand that. I know what that is. I know that trope. That's cool. Cool. Out of the Bottle. Is it like a genie reference? Like letting the genie out of the bottle? What's the reference? The Save the Cat trope. Of like when you're trying to show that somebody's a good person in a movie, so you have them like quote unquote save the cat. It's usually like showing somebody giving bread to a homeless person and being like, oh, they're a good guy. Or showing somebody like help a kid. Usually if you want to save the cat for like a big burly man, you show him being nice to a small or weak person. I save the cat every day by not killing Booba. This book is what made that example popular. That's so cool. You're just like a vat of knowledge. Everybody in this stream kind of is. I like that. Together we all make a well-adjusted human being. I do need to end this stream. Signals, Tall Tales, House of Omni, Nice Dream, Love Dream, Speed Dream, Daydream, Lust Dream, Quick Breath, and Ego Death are the name of all of my albums currently out. You can find them on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon MP3, Tidal, Groove, Deezer, Pandora, Napster, and YouTube. Booba is the only thing keeping you from being a full-blown villain, says Brian. Honestly, I know you're joking, but I'm not. The new leaf is coming in. Okay, post them in Discord. Yeah, please do. Please do. Please do, Ava. Please do. Yeah, new little neck babies. One of them's dead. One of the leaves' head fell off, and I don't know what to do with, like, the stem that's left. Every time I look at it, I feel like I failed, because it was a really tiny leaf. One of the babies is dead. Kit James hopes everybody has a really nice day, and then gives us some very pretty emojis. Thank you. Thank you, Kit. The categories are pretty big and vague, but heist fits with monster in the house, and it's usually confined space. Someone commits a sin, and the majority of the movie is run and hide. I love it. Not unlike life. Find that me. God, I would love that game. I know I was joking earlier when I said it, but now I kind of like it. Because, Cyber, when I was very young, this might be kind of gross, but there was like a weird smell in the house, and none of us could figure out what it was from. And there was even gnats, and none of us could figure out what the heck the source of the gnats were. And then we did find meat. We did find meat in the home. You know the little, like, oven? You know, there's that drawer underneath the oven? Somebody had put meat in there, and we never got to the bottom of who put meat in there. But none of us thought to look there. And it sat in there, and it rotted for days. And it was kind of like a cool little game of Find That Meat, Cyber. Anyways, yeah, please post pics, Ava. The music's out on those platforms. We're currently on YouTube right now. We're running out the last 2 streams of Season 2, and then there will be a break before we start Season 3 of the Morning Medleys. But I'll always be active on the Discord. I'll be active. Sometimes you have to tag me because I get distracted easily. So I feel like I've properly warned you guys for that. That's it. Thank you everybody for being so nice in this stream. See, chat was so active that I didn't even end at my appropriate 11 o'clock call time. I have a hard out at 11. I love when people say they have hard outs. I lied to somebody in a meeting recently and told them that I had a hard out, just because I wanted to finally be able to say it. And they didn't know I was lying, so it was okay. McKenna says, "What's up, stream team? How are we doing?" Oh, we are done doing. It has been done. But welcome, McKenna, and thank you for at least coming into the stream, even but for a few moments. I appreciate your energy. I appreciate your positivity, and I hope you have a good rest of your Wednesday today, street sweeping day. I think I'm gonna go try to see some snow today. I think I'm gonna drive to the mountains or something. I need some fresh air. And I hope class was well for you, also, McKenna. But I'll talk to you all soon. I do have music for sale. Thanks, Cyber. Whoa, my name is highlighted. Hello, everybody. Oh, thank you for being obviously polite to each other. And very respectful to me. I do appreciate that, guys. But I'll be in the Discord. Ava, post those links. Find that meat. Post those pics.